We're talking real estate tonight with Christie Wilson from the Wilson Group, and we have questions to get to. So let's hop to the phone lines. We have Gerald on the line. Gerald, thank you for being with us. What's your question?
I was wondering, in Rutherford County, if you wanted to rent your house out, it's a 4,000 square foot home with 12 acres. How do you price something like that for rent?
Yeah, pretty unique.
That is a unique property. What I would recommend, Gerald, is contacting a property management company in Rutherford County and have them come out and assess what the rent of your property should be. Each one, it's so different. The condition, you know, can you have horses on it, what all the property has with it. And a property like that is a specialized property, so you're going to want to have a management company come and tell you and help you. But if you want to do some research on your own, you can go to realtracks.com and look at the rentals there and see what people are asking for rents. I'm not sure how much that acreage is going to play in it. I know I had a piece of property for sale in Gallatin, and it was 17 acres, and the tenant had horses, so it worked out great. And I think, and this is way back, like 2009 or something. I think he was renting it out for $5,000 a month. So it just depends.
Okay, let's talk about that house rental. I guess search right now, because I know when we moved to the area, we didn't know if we'd find a house fast enough or what we need to do. What is that market like right now, and how do you go about that?
So I would. Several agents. So for our company at the Wilson Group Real Estate Services, we also have a property management division, and we have a leasing agent. So our leasing agent will help you find something, whether it's one of our properties or any properties he can find. And that's knowing the different property. So if you're working with a leasing agent, they know all the different property management companies to call, the different websites to go on. Because if you Google rental property, and it's just daunting. And if you're not from here and you don't know the areas, so I recommend calling a real estate company or a property management company and seeing if they have a leasing agent who can help you with the process.
Do you find a lot of people who are moving here for the first time want to go that route just so they get to know the area, or are they ready to jump into a home?
Both.
Yeah.
Both. I always say, I'm like, what would I do if I moved to a city or a place that I didn't know? I would probably rent, just because that's me. Unless my agent was just so on point with everything I needed and really helped me, knew exactly what I wanted and got me in the right location.
Gotcha. Okay. Alan is on the line. Alan, thanks for your call tonight. What's your question?
Hi, I am thinking about listing my house and probably be in the 240, 250 range. Could you...
I've got 5 buyers. No. I'm just kidding.
Probably so.
Could you kind of walk through what sort of how a bidding war process goes from like the seller's point of view? Do you get like a play-by-play of, oh, you've got an offer for this, or is it sort of like you wait for the final score?
That is such a great question. Okay, so this is sort of the technique that we use right now. If it's a house that we list and we have an idea it's going to be a multiple offer situation, we may put that house on the market on Thursday with all offers to be reviewed Monday at 10 a.m. or something like that. And that way, that enables that property to be viewed by as many buyers as possible. A lot of people will do the coming soon, and I think that, to me, that hurts your seller, because it's not being able to be viewed by that many. If somebody calls on the coming soon sign, that agent lets them in, they haven't exposed that property to everyone they could through our MLS system. So in that price point, that's what we would do, and then we'd sit down with you Monday at 10 a.m. with we've already reviewed the offers ourselves, the agent has. And we go through and we'll pull out the pertinent stuff, the price, the terms, the closing date, earnest money, if it's cash or loan, if there's an appraisal contingency, inspection contingency. And usually, so for instance, one of my agents this weekend got 17 offers.
17 offers.
On one house.
Wow.
So you can, usually you can pull out your top 5 offers that are either going to be above asking price, they're putting a lot of money down, they're cash, or they're locked in with they have an approval letter. I tell you what helps too, if you have an emotional seller, if a buyer writes a letter about why they love their home, the home, it helps. It really helps. I mean, that's what I do for my buyer. I don't do it for them. I say, well, y'all write a letter, and hopefully we have empathetic sellers, and you know, it's just one more tool that we pull out. But Alan, that's what we do when we're doing that, showing you the multiple offers, and sort of make a spreadsheet, if you will, and go over all the attributes, and hopefully not all 17 are identical if you had 17 offers.
Sure.
And then you go from there.
And different things may be important to different sellers, whether it's the closing date and how fast the people need in it, or you know, can they delay it, or the price, or
if they want to stay in it. I was telling you over the break that one seller who the buyer let them stay in for a month after, so they could find what they wanted to without a home sale contingency. And
that's very attractive. Maybe that's worth $5,000 you're willing to take off.
That's right, exactly.
Are people foregoing the inspections these days just to get a house?
Every now and then. And I have yet, I want my buyers to always get an inspection. When I'm a listing agent, I'm like, great, no inspection.
Right. But when you're on the other side of the table.
Yeah, when you're on the other side, I mean, as a realtor, you have to put on different hats. If you represent the buyer, represent the seller. What more people are foregoing is the appraisal contingency. Oh. We have had a big challenge on homes appraising for what the buyer's willing to pay for them. So if you're getting a loan, especially if you're an FHA loan, that house has to appraise for the purchase price. If it's a conventional loan and you're only putting 5% down, and you waive that appraisal contingency, you're going to have to come to closing with more cash to get that house.
So the only people waiving that are people who have the cash to do that.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Or if they feel so confident that it's going to appraise. Yeah.
But you're telling me it's not happening a lot, or it's tougher?
It's tougher. It's tougher. If somebody comes in without an appraisal contingency, if it's, I want to make sure too with that lender, I follow up with that lender to say, hey, they've waived this. Do they have enough money to put into the deal to make it work? Because I don't want, and is there enough earnest money to cover my seller if they just flake and won't run the deal?
And why aren't homes getting the appraisal that they need? Is it because people are overbidding what the sale price is?
Right. So appraisers look at closed sales, homes that have already sold, to be comparables. They'll also look at the active competition out there just to show what the market's doing. But if they cannot support the sales price of that house with past sales, it's going to be really hard for them. They don't want to be in the situation they were in 2006, 7, 8, where things appraised for here, now suddenly they're here, and the banks are left holding all these foreclosures. I don't anticipate any of that happening again, because lending has changed so much since then. There was a huge pendulum swing. But so the appraisers are getting less, they're still conservative, but their client is the bank. And so they want to protect the bank on that. But a good appraiser also will look at the trajectory of a neighborhood and see what the appreciation rates are and determine, okay, it sold 4 months ago, the neighborhood's appreciated this much, so maybe we adjust for that.
Okay. Let's chop to Melvin here. Melvin, thank you for being with us tonight. What's your question?
This is Melvin Fitzgerald, yeah.
Oh, Mr. Fitzgerald, hi. I sold his house. I love this man.
No, you recognize me, huh?
Yes, sir. I sure did.
I'd like to ask you a question about that new appraisal that you were talking about in Nashville. I just came in and heard about that appraisal. What is you said you got two different appraisals they're going to have this month in April?
I'm sorry, that may have been confusing. You will get a notice from the property assessor's office showing what your new tax appraisal is. It will either go out in the mail.
Nothing to do with your taxes, it's just the new appraisals.
At this point, yes, sir.
Right, okay.
But it will help determine your property taxes.
That's right. Thanks,
which
Carrie.
then come in October.
Now, when you go sell me, what can I'll sell you another house.
I would be happy to sell any of your houses. And if you want to buy another one, I'll be happy to help you with that,
so
too.
She's in the business of doing.
I just wanted to ask you that question, but I didn't know. I just came in and I heard you talking about it on television, about the new appraisal.
Yes, sir.
And I didn't quite get it. I didn't want to, I'm hoping there wasn't no taxes go up. Well, I need to get rid of this stuff.
Well, Mr. Fitzgerald, there's a good chance your appraisal, your property taxes will go up. You're in a very good area that's gone up. So we can talk offline. I'll be happy to, once you get that, call me and we'll go over it and take a look at that.
Yeah, okay. So I got excited when you jumped around. That's a Melvin Fitzgerald.
Well, thank you for calling in tonight, and thank you for watching the show as always. We appreciate that. It's good to hear from clients who are very happy.
Yes, he was one of our listeners when we had Real Estate Real Talk, and I just consider him a dear friend now. We came out and helped him sell one of his investment properties, and just the finest gentleman.
But you know what? He is in the boat with so many people who are going to get the reappraisal either this week or next week and say, what in the heavens has happened? Because that bill will then come due later this year.
That's right.
And you said your group will happily walk people through, help you find the comps in the area to see if that appraisal is fair or not.
That's right. And if you don't have a realtor that you're already using, feel free to call our office. We have 52 agents that can assist you. Or if you already have your own realtor, make sure you talk to that realtor if you feel like you need to challenge it, because it's going to be very upsetting. I mean, it's going to be interesting what the next 2 weeks hold with people's blood pressure.
Yes.
So
yeah, it's going to be a shocking day on Friday for a lot of people. Okay, I believe it's Bob. We have, yes, Courtney tells me Bob is on the line. Thank you for calling in. What's your question tonight?
Yes, I live in Rutherford County, over at Forest Lake. And I have a house that's about 1,700 square feet, but I have a large unattached garage, which is about 1,010 square feet. Does that play into the appraisal of my home?
It does. They will not count the garage as finished square footage, but they will count that as an amenity to your house. So when they are looking at other homes comparable to yours, they're going to try to find houses that have a large garage. And if they don't, then they'll adjust, the appraiser will adjust accordingly. Now on a tax appraisal, I know you're in Rutherford County, not Davidson County, they'll have the building, that will get some value, but it's a different thing on a tax appraisal. But on a market appraisal, they'll adjust for that large detached garage.
Let's talk about appraisals of unique properties. My husband and I have always bought homes with a couple of acres and maybe the extra garage or barn. And the appraisals always are tricky. So we don't have a home within 3 to 5 miles like this home. And it's like, well,
no kidding. That's why I called the appraiser.
That's why we like this house. So
on unique property, so there are guidelines for an appraisal, and the appraisers like there to be 6 comparables within the past 3 to 6 months of sales.
And that can be tough.
That's so tough when you have a unique property. So they have to then go outside of the market area. Or if you have a unique, let's say, we sold a house several years ago, and it was built in 1882, and it was restored.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't a renovation; it was restored to perfection.
My goodness!
It was in East Nashville. There was nothing like that in East Nashville, but there was in Belmont because they had some similar properties. So they could take those listings or those sales and adjust. Although East Nashville is equally, at that time it wasn't as hot as Belmont, but now it's equally hot. Yeah. So for a unique property, they're going to probably go out of the market area, and then they have to notate it on the adjustment of why they left the neighborhood.
Gotcha.
And that's for the underwriters are going to be looking. If you're looking at it for a loan, they want to notate everything. Okay.
Let's hop to Marie here. There we go. Marie, thank you for calling in tonight. What's your question?
Yes, hi. I'm having trouble getting a surveyor out to survey my property. Is there a website or a list of surveyors that are in the area of Davidson County that are willing to come out and survey?
Yeah, Maria, if you would give your contact information to Courtney when we hang up here, I'll be happy to call you with some surveyors that we use. And like everybody in the real estate business, they're really busy, but you can get a surveyor out there. Nashville has tons of good surveyors. They're very busy right now, so they may be a month or 2 out to get to you. But,
wow, that long.
And but if it's a regular city, if it's acreage, that's just going to take a little bit longer than just a small little city lot. Yeah.
Okay, Marie, I'm going to put you on hold. Just hang on, and Courtney will get back to you to get your name and number. Okay?
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank
Great
you.
Question.
Brian is on the line with us tonight. Brian, thanks for your call. What's your question?
Hey, my lady friend is down from Wisconsin. She's got her broker. She's a broker, not an affiliate realtor, in both Wisconsin and in Nashville, and she's also a contractor. And she said it's stark difference between, she's in West Bend, it's a suburb west of Milwaukee, and she said that she moved away from here a few years ago. She still comes down and does some business, but she's just shocked at all the what's going on, and she wanted to ask a question: is there a shortage of inventory? I don't know what that really means.
Yes, I can. There is a shortage of inventory, and that's what's driven the prices up so much. Is that there are not a lot of houses for sale for a variety of reasons. We are down. We've been down since 2011 in inventory. It's pretty. Every year it seems like we're down 1,000 units, and that's
substantial.
A lot. That's a lot. When you're used to having, it used to be normal to have 15,000 single-family homes on the market, and now we're at 9,000 single-family homes.
And I would imagine it's because a lot of people are moving in.
Yeah.
But also, I think after you went through that housing downturn as a homeowner, I'm more nervous to list my house and go through that process and move up. I mean, I can't imagine I'm the only one in that boat.
Right. Well, it depends. I think housing is such about personal needs. We were talking earlier about how it's so personal. Yes. If you're in your starter home and you've had a baby or a second child,
True.
Life dictates you moving. Unless you're fine. Like we probably grew up just, you're all on top of each other, and that's fine. You get strong that way. But, so life sometimes dictates that. But there are people who move because they love to move. My parents, we moved, when I was in second grade, we moved 3 times. I mean, they love to move. My brother and sister are like,
maybe that's why you're a realtor.
Maybe. So to his point, with the inventory shortage, and in that first-time home buying, or that under 200,000, 300,000, there have been so many out-of-town investors who come up and scooped up 100 properties at a time.
Wow.
I mean, it's just the dynamics of what's going on, and then people, like the lady who called with a house in Franklin, they want to buy something, but they're so afraid to put their house on the market because they don't want to be homeless, so it bottlenecks the market. Yeah. So we have a huge bottleneck.
People going, should I? Should I not?
Exactly.
Should I? Should
another
I not?
dance.
Yes,
right.
exactly. Okay, we're going to take another quick break. We have time for more calls when we come back. If you want to get on the line, now's a pretty good time to do so. 615-737-PLUS is the number to call. Stay with us.